Hello, my name is Alex Kogan, and I'm an associate broker and team owner at RE/MAX Edge. I specialize in working with sellers and getting them the highest possible prices for their properties. My biggest talent is my online marketing skills. I have a master's degree in marketing and bachelor's degree in computer science, and I have been doing online marketing ever since AOL introduced their dial-up service. In today's market, newspapers or word of mouth doesn't work anymore. As a broker, you constantly want to set record sale prices when it comes to properties. And the only way to achieve this is to feature listings in all the right places on all the right websites and to make sure they get syndicated everywhere. This is what I do really well, as you can see from my Zillow and Brooklyn MLS profiles. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to get you to sign an exclusive contract with me, but to get the highest price for your property, you need to do a little more than just to advertise it on a free Zillow account. This video will show you how to get the highest possible price for your property in Brooklyn. It has 3 parts: how free Zillow accounts work, the difference between an open listing agreement and other options, and how to differentiate between regular and successful brokers. Many sellers don't fully understand how Zillow works. Let me show you. So here is a for sale by owner listing. And as you can see, there are 3 brokers advertising on top of the property owner. And the first broker will always be selected. If you would reload the page, there would be 3 other brokers here. They show up randomly, but the first broker will always be selected. The property owner will never be selected. So when the buyers are searching through Zillow, they already probably filled out this form a couple of times before they got to your listing. So their information is stored already. So all they have to do is click on contact and move on to the next listing. The buyers don't really have time to understand how this box works. They don't even look here. Most of them look at the address, the zip code, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. They look at the square footage and the price, and they look at pictures. And if they see something they like, they click on contact. Some of the brokers who receive a lead from your buyer might not even call you because they were discouraged by other sellers who don't want to work with brokers. So instead, that broker will try to sell your buyer a similar property in your area, which they can easily find on Brooklyn MLS, and where they can also see how much commission they will make at closing. Other brokers who don't get discouraged easily will call you and will tell you that they found you a buyer. If you sell to this buyer, you will have to pay commission. So most likely, even though you're trying to sell without a broker, you will be paying commission regardless. But instead of allowing thousands of brokers and hundreds of thousands of buyers to compete for your property, you're limiting yourself to only about 1% of the market. The bottom line is, with a successful broker, even after the commission is paid, you will be left with at least 10% higher price. A successful broker would list your property on his or her very expensive and featured Zillow account, where the listing will get much higher exposure and all leads would be accounted for because other brokers can't advertise inside featured listings. There are many sites like Zillow where the property should be listed. One of the most important sites is Brooklyn MLS, where I'm logged in right now as a broker. Let's assume I receive a call from a buyer who is interested in a home where the length of the lot should be at least 80 feet or more. He wants private drive. He wants at least 2 spaces. The exterior has to be brick. Basement has to be finished and full. Construction has to be brick. He wants to have a porch and a terrace. Okay, so with all these criteria selected, we have 14 matches. I would then email these matches to my buyer and would also set up an email alert which would notify them whenever a new property that meets their search criteria is listed by any of the 4,000 brokers on Brooklyn MLS. Now let me show you how many buyers I have under my account. Each of these buyers have their own search criteria set. Remember, I'm only one agent. Imagine how many buyers all 4,000 agents would have. So guess what? As soon as your home is listed on Brooklyn MLS, all buyers who are looking for a home like yours will be notified. Now, this is very important. If the buyer was actively looking for a home specifically like yours, the offer will be much higher than from a Zillow buyer who is just window shopping. Buyers on Zillow aren't ready to buy now anyway. Most of them don't have a mortgage pre-approval letter yet and haven't even decided which neighborhood they want to live in. They're just looking for now. They will not be ready to buy for at least another year. On the other hand, the buyers who work with professional brokers are pre-approved and know exactly what kind of home they want and in which location. By not having your home listed on Brooklyn MLS, you are eliminating 99% of these buyers. Sooner or later, sellers realize that they will be better off with a successful broker. But many sellers at this point are still not ready to sign an exclusive contract. No problem. Let me tell you a little secret about listing agreements that most sellers don't know about. There are 3 different choices when it comes to listing agreements: open listing, exclusive right to sell, and exclusive agency agreement. Most sellers don't know the difference between exclusive right to sell and exclusive agency, and therefore choose what they think is the safest option, the open listing agreement. Well, guess what? It's actually the worst choice because it doesn't give any broker the ability to professionally market your property. If I start calling buyers from my phone book, some of them might be interested to buy your property, but only if the price is amazing. They weren't looking to buy your property and will not offer a high price. To find a buyer who will offer a really high price, the property needs to be advertised properly. Not on a free Zillow account, but everywhere and professionally. The second choice is exclusive right to sell agreement. Most sellers don't like this agreement because they would owe commission to their broker even if they found a buyer themselves. This makes sense, but what most sellers don't know is that there's a third option, which is as safe as open listing agreement, but which also gives permission to one single broker to professionally market your property. With exclusive agency agreement, you will not owe anything to the broker if you find a buyer yourself. You will owe commission to your broker only if you sell to a buyer who was brought in by that broker. If you sell to anyone else, you will not owe anything to your broker. If you don't believe me, consult your attorney for reassurance. The trick is finding a broker who is really good at real estate marketing. If you speak to 10 different brokers, they will all tell you that they're the best of the best in marketing. How do you choose? It's actually very easy to compare brokers. All you have to do is find their Brooklyn MLS and Zillow profiles. Let me show you. 2 weeks ago, this home was listed as for sale by owner. I called the owner and suggested that sooner or later he will realize that he will need professional help. At that time, I also tried to explain to the owner to do his homework first, because not all brokers are made equal. Unfortunately, this seller didn't listen to me, and now he listed it with this broker. I'm not gonna say her name, I'm gonna blur out the image. Let's see what happens when we click on her. We can see that she has a Zillow profile, which is a good thing because a lot of agents don't even have that. But she has 0 reviews and no sales in the last 12 months. All the seller had to do is Google her name and check her Zillow profile. For example, Alex Kogan Zillow. That's all you need to see who I am. Now, if you enter your agent's name, followed by Zillow, and the first search result isn't a link to their Zillow profile, it means they don't even have one. Agents who don't have a Zillow profile are the least successful ones. Now, let's click on my profile. And in this profile, there's only 3 things. It's very simple. There's only 3 things you need to look at. The number of reviews, how many sales I have in the last 12 months, and my active listings. Also, you can check any one of my active listings. For example, you click this one, or you could click any one of them. And you can see that I'm the only one here. This is not a free account that most brokers use. So check your agent's listings. Make sure that your agent is the only one on the listings. If you see that your agent is there with other agents advertising inside that agent's listings, it means your agent doesn't know what he's doing. It means he or she is not spending enough money on advertisement, or they simply don't understand the concept of Zillow, the concept of computers, the concept of online marketing. So the only agent to go with is the one who has featured listings. Okay, so we see that this agent has no past sales and 0 reviews. But this is only half of the problem. Well, actually, it's only quarter of the problem. The biggest problem is that this agent is not even a part of Brooklyn MLS. Now, to be a part of Brooklyn MLS, her broker, the owner of her company, has to buy $20,000 worth of shares in the Brooklyn MLS Corporation. Her broker did not do that. She doesn't have access to Brooklyn MLS. And the seller, before signing a contract with this broker, could have easily checked this. All he would have to do is go to brooklynmls.com, scroll down, click on Office Search, and enter RE/MAX. As you can see, RE/MAX Edge is here. But what if you enter Kogan, by the way? You can see that Kogan is not here. They're not here because the owner of the company decided not to spend $20,000 to become a member. Probably because they work mostly in Manhattan. But still, agents from their company and other companies who aren't a part of Brooklyn MLS will try to get your listing. They will make up different excuses for not being a part of Brooklyn MLS. But if you want to sell your property in Southern Brooklyn for the highest possible price, you must have it listed on Brooklyn MLS. So because she didn't list this home on Brooklyn MLS and she doesn't have a strong Zillow profile, guess what? Do you think she's gonna get this price for the house? Whatever the price she will get, I guarantee you that a professional agent who knows how to use Zillow, who has an amazing profile on Zillow, and who is a part of Brooklyn MLS will get much, much higher offers. If she can get 2.2, for example, I could probably get 2.3 or 2.4 just because I have a higher rank on Zillow and because I would list it on Brooklyn MLS and would find a buyer who is looking for specifically this home, who has been looking for this home for a year or 2 years and finally found it. But without MLS, this agent is not reaching the right buyers. So again, this agent that the seller chose has about 5% of my capability. And again, I'm not saying just me. You don't have to choose me. Find somebody who is better than me. Just do your homework before you sign up with someone. Find the best agent to work with that you possibly can. And this agent will get you the most amount of money for your home. Don't think that most agents are equal. They're not. Half of them don't have access to Brooklyn MLS. Some of them, like this agent, have 0 reviews and 0 sales in the last 12 months. Some don't even have Zillow accounts. And some don't know how to rotate a photo on a computer. You see a lot of photos upside down because some agents are not computer savvy enough. So do your homework before you sign a contract with any of the agents. Now you have enough information to choose the right broker. Let me tell you a little bit about RE/MAX. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Let's meet and talk about your property. Give me a call.